Hey guys, I have been asked to do, if I can get my phone to stay there, I've been asked to do a tutorial by my second cousin of the steps I take reloading. Reloading's different for all calibers. Rifle has different steps, pistol has different steps. Today I'm probably going to start a video on the procedure I use for doing 223. Now, in this video I'm going to be loading bulk 223. I actually have tons of range brass and military brass. I'm going to go over the steps I use. I deprime, I tumble, I swedge, I size, I prime, I trim, I charge, I seat. That's my steps. So we'll go forward and I will show you as I go how I do it. Okay guys, first thing I use is the Lyman Universal Decapping Die. I'm going to spare y'all the setup procedure. If y'all want to know how to set one up, there's plenty videos out there on how to do it. So, but that is my first step, is decapping or knocking the deprimer out, or knocking the primer out. The primer is that little circle in there. When the firing pin strikes it, it hits an anvil inside there and ignites the powder. So anyway, I use this. This doesn't size, it doesn't do anything. Its only purpose is to knock that primer out right there. Okay guys, here we go. Primer. No primer. I'm going to do that 200 times, 202 times. Sometimes I'll load a few more than I'm fixing to load for the batch, but this batch will be loading 200 rounds. For varmint hunting, to get us through the winter, what's left over I will add to a batch for prairie dogs next summer. This step I use with my precision rifles, steel case, chunk them. Dude, I don't load them. Anyway, I'll be back with the next. Okay guys, I've got a little over 200 pieces of brass deprimed, primer knocked out. My next step is tumbling. I use a tumbler, so I will give you a video of me dropping them in. So basically what that's going to do is clean the brass. Some people don't clean their brass. I like my primer pockets clean. That's why I deprime first. I also don't like sending dirty brass into my dies to get crap up in my die bodies. So that's my next step. Stick with me and we'll move on to the next in a little bit. I'll let these tumble about 2 to 3 hours, check them, go from there. Hey guys, we're resuming the video from yesterday. I've got all the brass clean, all 200 and something pieces. So what we have to do now is take care of the crimp on the primer pocket. Military brass, they crimp the primer in. So to reprime it, we have to take that crimp out. Up until recently, I was cutting that out, and I ordered a new kit here, RCBS swaging kit. So what that does is, let me sit you down here and see if I can show you. So what we've got happening is this is a go, no-go gauge. No-go side, go guy side. If a primer will fit, this will go in easy, like that right there. That one's good. I don't have to do anything else with it. This one here, it will not go in. That crimp is still there and too tight. So what we have to do, run it up in the swedge die body, bring that up, swedge that crimp out, check it with our go gauge, and now it goes in, sets flush in there, and it's ready to go on to the next one. I'm not gonna, again, like yesterday, I'm not gonna show you the details of setting it all up. There's plenty of videos for that. But I'm gonna go through and swedge all these crimps out, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, guys, we're moving on to the next step here. We left off decrimping or swedging these. I've got 100 laid out here. We're gonna go through and size them and prime them. So that's gonna be the next step. Let me set you down here so you can watch what I'm doing. The very first step we do is we have to lube them. Different cases. For 223 and small stuff, I use one-shot spray. Works pretty good. 270, 30-06, 308, I use Hornady's Unique Case Lube and apply it with my fingers. After you've stuck a case, you'll figure out why. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold these up in the air over here. See if I can set you over here so you can watch me do it. And you just want to make sure you get inside the case mouth and on the case bodies. Don't overdo it, and it'll take a little bit just to kind of get the feel for it. So, all right, I've got you set up there. So what we're going to do is straighten the bench up real quick. Apparently we had some stuff fall. So, I usually like to let them set for just a little bit. I'll go ahead and show you my setup here. This has all my primers in it. This is the sizing die. Put your casing in here. It goes up, it sizes. When you come down, this right here pops the primer in and you seat it. So, I think we've given it long enough. Let's get you set back up right there, and let me get me a done bucket set up here. And everybody has their own ways of doing this. So, up in size, primer, down, and seat. Just like that. Now, I don't know if you can tell, here's an unsized, here's a sized. It just knocks the shoulders back just a little bit and puts it back to factory specifications. Take the next one. It is unprimed, unsized. In the sizer, down, seat the primer. And your primer, I don't know if you can see it there, your primer should set just below flush right there. But that is sized, and the neck has been bumped back so it will fit in a chamber now. I'm going to run through all these and then we'll move to the next step. One thing I forgot to mention, when you size it, it also sets your neck tension for holding your bullet in. These fired ones, you could push a bullet in and out of it because it's already been expanded from firing. After sized, it brings this neck tension back down to spec. Hey guys, we are moving on to the next step. We left off, we had sized and primed all of these. Full length size. That also sets neck tension. So what we have to do now is trim all of them. The reason you trim is when when a round is fired, this brass expands and stretches and moves to fill the chamber in that gun. Well, when that happens, the brass moves forward and makes this longer. So what we do is we check the length. You can use a set of calipers, and for 223 it's supposed to be 1.76. Right here we have 1.77. I like my calipers. You notice if you watch any of my videos, I don't use digital stuff. I don't use digital calipers. I don't use digital scales. I have a set of digital scales. I don't use them. You cannot trust your life to them. I don't care if they're a $300 set of digital scales. That's my personal opinion. I will use beam scales all day long. If you need help setting up beam scales or learning how, contact me. I will help you. Anyway, instead of calipers, you can also use one of these charts. It's pretty handy. It's got all the calibers listed right here. We're going to use 223. So what you do is you try to slide it in there. That one will not go. I have already done one. That one slides right into 223. So you know you've done it right. So that being the case, what we do is we trim. See if I can get you set up here to see the trimmer. Maybe. Okay, guys. So what happens here is, once you have a case that's too long, you drop it in your trimmer. There's several trimmers on the market. I prefer this one. Once you get it in there, and I've pre-adjusted all this to trim it to exactly the right length. Once it's trimmed, you double check it. It slides right in. Move on to the next one. So, when you trim a casing, it causes a burr on the outside. So what we have to do now is we have to chamfer the inside and outside of that mouth. So I'm going to show you that right now. Okay. To chamfer the inside and the outside of this casing, there's several hand tools that'll do it, that you twist with your hand. That wears me out, and I do a lot of ammo. So we use the Lyman case prep station. So if y'all can see the burrs on the inside and outside. Inside, outside. See how clean that is? The chamfer on the inside creates a little bevel and helps you seat your bullets better. So there's that step. We will move on to the next one and show you the charging and seating. Okay, guys, we are moving on to the next step and the final process of loading these 223 Remingtons. As you can see, I've got them all laid out here. I've already done a couple. So basically, we've got our powder drops right here. I have 3 different ones. I like this Lee. It's pretty consistent when I'm loading bulk. I'll show you that. I'm going to set you up here so you can see me charge a case. I'm going to charge this case. It is full of powder. I will let you see me put it in the beam scale. And I just charged that case. We're going to go ahead and dump that powder in. And it's set for 26 grains. I've preset it. So basically, we're going to see where she lands. That's pretty good. Right at 26 grains. Now, if I was precision loading, smaller batches, I would use a trickle charger, and I'd trickle them in and I'd get every one identical. This, we're going to be off a grain or two either way. Maybe not even that. Less than half a grain in weight. So then what we'll do is we'll just put that powder back in that casing like that. Okay, we got our case charged. Over here on the press, we're going to seat that bullet. Run it up in our seater die. There it is. These are supposed to be right at 2.20. That's perfect. And that's the process. Right now I am loading Barnes Varminator. They're 50 grain bullets. I'm also going to be loading some 52 grain Spear hollow points, and this will all be for coyotes, groundhogs, prairie dogs, whatever. So that's the process. I just go through and charge them all, seat the bullets, and I'll give you a quick look at the finished product when I'm done. I'm going to go through these and charge them and seat them. If you have any questions about the process, just contact me. I don't mind helping anybody out. This is soon to be a forgotten art, so the more I can drag into this hobby, the better. So anyway, till next time, thanks for watching.